you know, just, I don't know what the word is. Just a heart thumper. I'll just use that. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome. Um, yeah, I was gonna say something else, but I didn't because I forgot. But anyway, today I am filming a video of some of my favorite fantasy novels. I have 9 right now, and yeah, we can get into those. I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what they're about. Obviously, you know they're my favorite, but I'll tell you why they're some of my favorites and what I liked about them. Let's get into the video. But before that, I just want to slide this in here. I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe and a comment, and for you to ring that notification bell. It really does help out a small channel a lot. Helps with engagement and for more people to see my videos so I can keep doing this. So I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe, but you don't have to. It's completely up to you. So yeah, whatever you want to do, just watching is nice. Thanks. Okay, onto the video. So you can see them in here, whatever. It's like a sneak peek. All right, so the first book should come as not much of a surprise if you've been watching my channel. I talk about this all the time, and that is Legendborn. I'm obsessed with Legendborn. It's so good, has such a complex world, great characters, super entertaining, fast-paced, just everything you could want in a fantasy novel. So this story follows Brianna Matthews, whose mother has just died in a tragic car accident, and to escape her grief, she goes to UNC Chapel Hill's high school program that she was accepted to. And while she's there at a party, a demon attacks her, and she discovers that there is this whole society of magical demon hunters called the Legendborn, and it's all wrapped up in the tale of King Arthur. So yeah, it's so good. I highly recommend this. If you haven't picked this up, you should. I think they're also turning it into a show soon. I think I heard that, which I'm really excited for, although a lot of times I feel like the shows never live up to the books. That's just my opinion. But recently, especially, I've kind of been like really excited for a show, and then it's kind of like meh. I'm talking about Daisy Jones and the Six. Sorry if you really loved that. I thought it was fine. But anyway, yeah, that's Legendborn. You should pick it up if it sounds interesting to you. Okay, so the next one is the same deal. I've talked about this so much on my channel, but it is one of my favorite fantasy novels, and that is Nevermore. I just recently read this year. I tried to read this like 2 years ago, and I just didn't like it for some reason. I don't understand why I didn't like it. So I read like 100 pages, and then I put it down. And then I was like, I have this book. I should finish it. So I got the audiobook and I listened to it, and I absolutely loved it, and I loved every single sequel after. It's just such a comforting, heartwarming, magical school story with lovable characters, especially Finestra, and the climaxes are so fun. Like, and everything is weaved so well into the story, and then the climax, like, boom, and it's just so fun to read or listen to. It fills that itch that I have not been able to fill in a long time, of like a cute middle grade magical school fantasy story. If that sounds good to you, pick it up. It's just amazing. So Nevermore is about this girl named Morgan Crow who is said to be cursed, and on her 11th birthday she is supposed to die. But when her 11th birthday hits, an eccentric man named Jupiter North whisks her away to the world of Nevermore, which is a magical world full of mysteries and excitement, and Morgan has to compete in 4 trials to get into the wondrous society, and if she fails, she'll be sent back to meet her fate. And it is just great. Just so fun. Pick this up. Do yourself a favor. So the next book I have is An Ember in the Ashes, and this is just a roller coaster of a book. It is intense, dark, gritty, and keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire time. That's why I loved it. The whole series is really good. I loved how it wrapped up. I loved pretty much all of it. It's just such a fun, multiple perspective story about these people who live in this kingdom called the Martial Empire. In the first book, it follows 2 perspectives, one of a girl named Laia and one of a boy named Elias. And Laia's family has just been murdered by the martial order, and her brother has been kidnapped, and she will do anything to get him back, including becoming a slave to one of the most ruthless warriors in the kingdom. And Elias is part of the Martial Empire. He is a warrior training to be a mask, which is basically the most deadliest, fierce warrior there can be, and he does not want to do that. He wants nothing to do with the violence of this nation. So he wants to escape and go live a violent, free life. But when Laia and Elias meet, the fate of the empire will change forever. And that's what it's about. It's so good, so good. It's just one of those things you can't stop reading because you need to know what happens, and you're like, is the commandant gonna catch her? Like, what's gonna happen next? You know, just, I don't know what the word is. Just a heart thumper. I'll just use that. Anyway, yeah, if that sounds good to you, I think you would really like this. I highly recommend. I loved it. It's one of my favorite fantasy books. So a lot of these books are YA and middle grade because for the longest time, I really only read YA, and I've been kind of more getting into other genres now, other age categories now. But I haven't read that many adult fantasies yet. I definitely have a lot on my list. So for right now, it's more like, I think I have one adult fantasy on my list, but the rest of them are like YA, and I think there's one more middle grade. But yeah, just saying. So the next book is Six of Crows, of course. How can it not be on here? This is possibly my favorite fantasy of all time. I think this one and Legendborn are really close. I adore Six of Crows. I haven't fallen in love with a cast of characters like this in such a long time. They're just so dynamic, so lovable, so complex. Not to mention the world is amazing, and it is such a fun ride. This is a fantasy heist novel. It follows the Six of Crows, so six like outcasts in like the bottom of society, kind of criminals, and they are given a ton of money to go break out this man who invented this really deadly drug that makes Grisha, which are the people with magic, super powerful, but then they get completely addicted to it, and they're tasked to go break him out. This place called the Ice Court, which is this like impenetrable prison. That's what they are paid to do, and it's about that and much more, with just lovable characters. And if you have not picked this up, please do. There's also a TV show out about it. I like the TV show, but this is better. Yeah. So do yourself a favor, read this one. It was fantastic. So the next two are by the same author, and the first one is Gallant. So 2 V. Schwab books, but I just adored Gallant. This one does not get the best reviews, but I think it deserves all the good reviews because I was obsessed with it when I read it. It does kind of hit a niche for me. I am a big Gothic fan. I love a big haunted mansion that's decaying, and there are secrets going on, and you need to figure out what is going on. And that's very much this book. And I really like the main character. She was very strong. This one is about this girl named Olivia who is growing up in this orphanage, and she has her mother's journal. And that's the only thing she has from her. And her mother only requests one thing of her that she's written in the journal. And it says, don't go to Gallant. But when Olivia gets an invitation to her orphanage asking her to go to Gallant, she accepts the offer. And there's a lot of mysteries about Gallant. And I just loved it. I remember I was reading this and I was just like, oh, this is so fun. Like, what's going on? I need to know what's happening. I really loved, there's a specific scene in here, I think I tabbed it, that is just so good and I think about all the time. If that sounds good to you, you should totally pick up Gallant. It also has beautiful pictures. It's so pretty. I love when books have pictures in them. So yeah, you should pick this one up if that sounds good to you. I really recommend. So the next book is also by V.E. Schwab, and that is A Darker Shade of Magic. I'm so excited for the new book coming out. V.E. Schwab has been posting like YouTube videos recapping all of these books, and it just reminds me how much I love this series. I'm also so happy I got, like, this is like the collector's edition, and like it has this little string, and it's like, yeah. But the covers have now changed, so I feel like this is like extra now, and I'm like very happy to have it. I just love this story. I love the magic system. I love how there are separate Londons that they can travel through. I love the characters. They're just so, I don't know how to describe them. Like, especially Lila is so kind of crazy, but in like a great way. And yeah, it's just, I just love it. It's so good. So good. The plot is super fun too. Sprinkle in like a little bit of Lord of the Rings-ish with like a quest to destroy a bad object that is like going to ruin the world type of thing. So this story is about a boy named Cal, who is an Antari magician, which means that he can control all the elements, kind of like the Avatar, but it's really nothing like Avatar: Last Airbender, but it's just giving you an image. Okay. And this girl named Lila, who is a thief, and they run into each other in London, and there are 4 types of Londons as well. There's, they're parallel to each other, so basically different realities, kind of. So there are 4 of them. There's Grey London, which is our London, Red London, which is a London abundant with magic, White London, that is a world getting destroyed by magic, and Black London that has been destroyed by magic. When Lila and Kel meet, Kel has gotten this stone from Black London that is going to destroy the world, and Lila steals it from him. And from there, they are trying to get the stone back to Black London. And it's, oh, just great. Just great. And I would also really recommend this now because the new book in the series is coming out. It's like going to be separate from this one, so it's going to be like another trilogy, but I think it follows the same characters. I really, really love this story, and I think you should check it out if that sounds good to you. All right, so the next book is House in the Cerulean Sea. I've also talked about this one a lot. This is just like a big hug. It's so cute and queer and sweet, and just something that made me cry so much, not because it's sad, but because it's sweet and heartwarming. I love the characters, I love the concept, I love the writing, I love the cover. Oh my gosh, look at this cover, it's gorgeous. It just ticks off every box. So House in the Cerulean Sea is about this man named Linus Baker who works for the department in charge of magical youth. And he's a caseworker. And he gets assigned this case to go to this island where 6 of the most deadly children live. And he has to decide if this place is fit for them or they could bring about the end of days. And one of the kids is the son of the Antichrist. So yeah, that shows you how dangerous they are. But yeah, it's just adorable, sweet, found family, heartwarming with a very nice gay romance in it, a lot of great moral lessons, just a wonderful read that made me smile and cry the entire time. So yeah, you should read this if you haven't. I know it's very popular, but there's a reason. So the next book I have is Blood Like Magic by Lizelle Samberry, who is a fellow YouTuber on YouTube. And I love her channel and I love this book. It's one of my favorite fantasy novels. Kind of like fantasy sci-fi, like it's a little sci-fi-esque too. But it is so good. I was not expecting to love this as much as I did. I thought I'd like it. The premise is definitely very interesting, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be completely for me. But I read it and I freaking adored it. This is one of my favorite fantasy books I've ever read. And it's really underrated too. It's so good, and I don't know why it's not more popular. So that's why I think you should pick it up. A little underrated read. So this story follows this girl named Voya, and she is a witch, and her family are witches. When a witch comes of age, there is a ceremony they hold where an ancestor comes and gives each witch a task they must complete in order to gain their magic. The task one of Voya's ancestors gives her is she must destroy her first love or her entire family will lose magic forever, including her. And she hasn't had a first love yet, so she has to find someone and destroy them. It's very angsty and very tense, along with a great family dynamic. I loved the family in this story. They were so close and so sweet, and there are a lot of twists and turns along the way. This is a wonderful duology. I highly recommend you pick this up. Oh, you can see it. We Shall Move, the books. Boom. Whatever. It's a nice little pop of color. And the last book I have is City of Bones. I know this one gets a lot of hate for being kind of silly, and it is kind of silly, but that's why I love it. It's like classic 2012 YA love triangle angst, and that's exactly why I love it, and that's exactly why I'm here for it. I know Cassandra Clare has a lot of other books that are a lot more hyped and popular, but City of Bones is still my favorite one. I love the snarky characters, I love the Shadowhunter world, I love the twists and turns in this story. It's just so fun, and such something you can sink your teeth into, kind of just a little bit trashy, but in the best way possible. Look at this cover. It definitely gives off the vibes I'm talking about, right? City of Bones follows this girl named Clary, who her mom gets taken by this man called Valentine, and she finds out there's this whole world of shadow hunters, which are basically demon hunters. It's a lot about her trying to get her mom back. There's vampires and werewolves and just a really, really developed world of these demon hunters. And I love it. I do. I love it. I'm not ashamed to say I love it. It is fun. It's very fun. All right, so that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun talking about my favorite fantasy books. If you would like to subscribe, like, and comment, and ring that notification bell, once again, it really does help me out a lot, and I'd like really appreciate it. But yeah, I think that's all for me. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.